U.S. launches airstrikes against Islamic State in Nigeria. The U.S. has launched airstrikes against militants linked to the Islamic State group, IS, in northwestern Nigeria, where the militants are trying to gain a foothold. Camps run by the group in Sokoto State, which borders Nigeria and Niger, were attacked.
The United States carried out an airstrike against Islamic State militants in northwest Nigeria at the request of Nigeria's government. U.S. President Donald Trump and the U.S. military said on Thursday, claiming the group had been targeting Christians in the region.
An existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands and thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I am hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. That's a legal definition.
U.S. President Donald Trump said the Christmas Day attacks were powerful and deadly, branding the group a terrorist scum, and saying they had primarily targeted and brutally killed innocent Christians. Nigerian Foreign Minister Yusuf Maitama told Tugger Media that it was a joint operation and had no affiliation with any particular religion. Tugger said the attacks had been planned for some time and were based on intelligence provided by Nigeria. He did not rule out the possibility of more attacks. Referring to the timing of the attacks, he said, "They have nothing to do with Christmas. It could be any other day. They are related to the terrorists who are killing Nigerians." The Nigerian government has been battling a complex network of jihadist groups for years, including Boko Haram and splinter groups linked to ISIS. Although the expansion into the northwest region is a relatively recent development. The Trump administration has previously accused the Nigerian government of failing to protect Christians from jihadist attacks, and has claimed that a genocide is underway. Trump has previously labeled Nigeria a country of particular concern, a designation the U.S. State Department uses to impose sanctions on countries that engage in serious violations of religious freedom. The U.S. military was ordered to prepare to intervene in Nigeria in November. At the time, an advisor to the Nigerian president told BBC News that the militants were targeting people from different faiths, and that any U.S. military action would have to be joint. Violence monitoring groups say there is no evidence that more Christians are being killed than Muslims in Nigeria, which is roughly evenly divided between followers of both faiths. Confirming the attacks on Christmas Day, Trump said in a social media post that radical Islamic terrorism will not be allowed to flourish. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said on Thursday that he was grateful for the Nigerian government's support and cooperation. The U.S. Department of Defense later posted a short video showing the missile being launched from a ship. On Friday morning, the Nigerian Foreign Ministry said in a statement that the country's authorities are engaged in structured security cooperation with international partners, including the United States of America, in addressing the persistent threat of terrorism and violent extremism. This has led to the launch of precision strikes on terrorist strongholds in Nigeria through airstrikes in the northwest, the statement said. Jihadist groups such as Boko Haram and ISIS-affiliated branches have wreaked havoc in northeastern Nigeria for more than a decade, killing thousands. According to ACLED, a group that analyzes political violence around the world, most of the victims are Muslim. According to Bulama Buketi, a Nigerian human rights lawyer and conflict analyst, Thursday's attacks targeted a new group that has aligned itself with ISIS. The group, which originated in the Sahel region, has recently moved fighters to Nigeria. He told our correspondent that the Islamic State West Africa province, the largest IS-linked group in Nigeria, operates in the northeast of the country, while the smaller group, known locally as Lakurawa, is trying to establish a base in the northwestern Sokoto state. He continued, "They started infiltrating Nigeria in 2018. But in the last 18 months or 2 years, they have set up camps in Sokoto State and Kebbi State. For the last 18 months or so, they have been unleashing attacks on the people of Sokoto State and imposing their social rules." According to FJ Monitoring, pro-IS social media channels are reporting daily U.S. surveillance flights over Sokoto and the northeastern state of Borno, the stronghold of Nigeria's largest IS-affiliated group. In central Nigeria, clashes between mostly Muslim herders and often Christian farming groups over access to water and grazing land are common. Thousands have been killed in ongoing counteroffensives, but atrocities have been committed on both sides. The attack in Nigeria is the second major U.S. intervention against IS in recent weeks. Meanwhile, the RSS and the Bajrang Dal launched attacks on Christmas Day similar to those in India and Nigeria. Churches, decorations, and shrines were widely destroyed in the states of Manipur, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Uttarakhand, Gujarat, Meghalaya, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, and Kerala. The attacks in India were similar to the attacks by Hamas on Israel from all over. The widespread attacks on Christians on Christmas Day are considered to have been carried out in a planned manner by the BJP leadership in India. The attacks on Christians on Christmas Day are considered to be like the Mumbai attacks, the Pahalgam attacks, and the attacks by Hamas on Israel. All of these are likely to be considered violations of international law against Prime Minister Modi and the BJP. What we saw in Nigeria was a response to violations of international law.